Ahoy, morning breathers, and welcome to Thursday. I scratch my head. Just waking up a little bit.
Get going.
That's a good way to do that.
Yeah.
Do that.
A little head massage in the
Keep the
morning.
blood flowing a little bit.
Yeah.
Get the brain working.
I had a barber tell me that when I was, I don't know, like 8th or 9th grade. I was getting my hair cut, and he says, "How do you wash your hair?" And I'm like, it's a weird question when you're 8th grade, but it's your barber, right? So it's like, okay. And I'm like, I don't know. I just rub the shampoo in. He goes, "No, get in there." And he goes, "If you're not bleeding when you're not done, you're not doing it hard enough."
Ooh, well, I
Yeah.
don't know about that.
Yeah, well, this guy, he's
Old
no longer
school.
he's no longer with us. He had cancer, but yeah, he didn't care. He just told you the way it was.
Probably rubbing tonic in his head.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. So anyway,
Some kind of snake oil.
but I still think about this to this day, and I was probably 15 then.
Do you wash your hair that way?
I do. I don't bleed, but I get in. I get in there after
You're
it.
doing it right then.
Get it
I
going.
get in there after it.
How about that? Now we know a little bit more about Matt than
There
we
you
should.
go. Yeah, I know how I wash my hairstyle, my hair washing preferences.
Interesting. Well, ahoy, Boss Man Matt is with us.
Ahoy, Skipper.
Of course he is. The glorious Greta.
Ahoy.
Ahoy to you.
Good morning.
She comes in and everybody just kind of smiles and stands up straight.
Get it together.
She's always in a good mood, even if she's not.
She just comes
You'll
in
never
bubbly.
know.
You just never know.
And we couldn't do anything without SPP.
Ahoy, Skipper.
Ahoy to you, my lad. I'm just going to start with this.
All right.
Our military is the best of the best, right?
It
I
is.
mean, it's the best. Our sailors are. There's nobody better. They can run a ship and they keep it clean and it runs well. Our people in infantry, they know how to
How to kick
do
ass.
everything.
How to kick ass. Need be.
But apparently we're not doing a good enough job on our pilots. In 8 days, we have lost two $67 million planes.
Jeez.
They were coming in to land on an aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
And
Which would be extremely
it's
difficult.
damn hard. I'm not saying this is easy,
Right.
but we're losing $67 million aircrafts.
Yeah. That's not like putting a fender bender in your daddy's Cadillac. It's a little different.
Are these the things like in the ocean where they're landing on?
Yes.
Ooh, they're just going right into the ocean or what?
Well, you don't get a lot of detail, but they say another jet,
Another.
$67 million jet, fell off the aircraft carrier due to a failed landing.
Ooh.
So I know that's a tough job, and I'm making a little bit light of that,
Sure.
but ouch.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I don't know what Elon's going to say about that.
Yeah. I don't know either, but
A little bit wasteful.
yeah. But isn't that? I mean, you've seen videos of that. That's just amazing that they can
yeah.
do that.
Blows
my
mind.
It is incredible that they can have the success rate that they do have.
To land that stuff. Nuts. And how do you learn to do that until you do it?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
You can try and simulate that somewhere, but you
gotta
don't know
just
you can do
it.
it until you try and land it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know that there's, it's just kind of you and the plane.
I
You
think
got to figure it out.
I think a lot of those pilots, not just military pilots, but all pilots in general, for commercial pilots, they do a lot of training on simulators, and I'm sure those simulators are incredibly realistic.
Well, maybe that's
but like you said, until you are
Do
doing
it. Yeah.
until a bird actually flies into your engine, you don't really know what to do, right?
that's a fact.
It's true. That's
It's
true.
a fact. So, I don't know. Hang in there, guys. Well, the next one will go better, maybe.
Need a little extra training.
Didn't
Or,
say if it was the same pilot.
that's what I'm wondering. Am I same training group?
They don't say that.
It's happening.
Everybody survived, but
That's
Yeah,
good
it's
at least.
okay.
But $67 million
That's a lot of money.
loss.
That's a
It's
lot.
just gone.
it's not like, gosh, Cap, I laid my shotgun down and I don't know what I did with it.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Although I think that would get you in trouble
Yeah, that
also
would.
if you
Yeah,
lost
I
your
think-
military weapon.
I think you're supposed to love that thing.
I think
like
so
no
too.
other.
I think so too.
We had golf league last night, and I'm not on a team, but I subbed,
Sure.
and I just love golf.
Was it
It's
the first
fun.
night?
It was.
That's what I thought.
I didn't see Blandon.
He had his basketball championship game.
Oh,
So he will be there from now on. But yeah, they won. The big winners. So
well, I'll be darned. Like, this is real basketball?
yeah,
Okay.
through the Y, like Y men's.
Here in town?
Yeah, Washington Kelowna.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. Well, cool.
Yeah. every week though he comes home. Last night it was his hamstring. Then it's his
I can do that just bending over
I know,
tying my
right?
shoe.
I know.
So,
I'm like, you're a little old for this, but hey,
Yeah.
he's not old.
he's not. No.
Funny thing is, they've never asked me to be on a team. I don't know what that's all about.
Who knows? I mean,
My wrestling shot.
The invitation's out there.
Yeah.
YMCA.
I think they start back up in October.
Yeah.
So there
Well,
you
I
go.
probably won't get an invitation next year either, so that's okay.
So it was a good night last night. The weather was great.
Yeah.
With warm weather comes the warm weather bugs.
Yes,
yeah.
they were bad last night.
So the bug soother was flowing.
Sure was.
There's people coming up and say, "Hey, you got any bug soother? I didn't get any in my bag." So it was bug soother share night.
A quarter a squirt to spray everybody.
No, I don't know that anybody charged anybody. I had like 3 bottles, and there's a little bit left.
Right.
In mine. I just throw this guy my bottle. Hey, just have it.
Yeah.
So
So there you go.
So there you
That's
go.
it.
Bug
All
season, people.
I don't think I have anything else off the top of my head. Usually I have something kind of crazy, but
Well, I just saw this right before we came in, so I just kind of took a few notes on it. Speaking of weapons, not real weapons, but squirt guns. There's a game apparently that high school kids are playing. It's called Senior Assassin.
Senior Assassin.
Have you heard of this?
TikToks of
I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't really know.
So apparently there's an app, and you have targets, and it's tracked through
Oh.
this app.
I know
But
there
you're
was an
supposed
app.
you're supposed to squirt them with a squirt gun, right? I mean, it's supposed to be just a fun whatever. Well, this kid in Texas who was a standout baseball player, a couple weeks from graduation, found his target, and they were in a Jeep, and so they were stopped, and so he jumped on the rear bumper of the Jeep. And of course, bad things happened, and the Jeep took off and didn't. I don't know if the Jeep didn't know he was there or whatever, but he fell off and he's in bad shape. And
Yikes.
yeah, and then another kid last year. Apparently, this has been going on for a little bit in Kansas. That he was chasing a girl who was his target, and he shot her. And the dad was there and pulled out his real gun and shot him,
Yeah.
Oh,
and he's paralyzed from the waist down. So. All these schools are now getting together and saying, if you're playing this on the ground, you're banned. You lose all your privileges. Apparently it's a deal.
yikes.
This is one more reason I don't have TikTok.
So
Yikes.
yeah,
That kind of reminds me of Pokemon Go when that was a thing.
right. Yeah,
People were.
Crazy. It actually, especially if I was in high school, I think that'd be fun.
I know, it
Tracking
sounds
people. I
fun.
think it'd be fun.
We used to play like yogurt tag. We'd drive around and chase each other and throw yogurt at each other. And that probably wasn't the best.
Greta, I'm shocked and appalled.
Jeff says
Good
Jeff says Senior Assassin has been around for a while. He says his seniors don't play it anymore. So apparently it's
we're old.
maybe it's
We're-
past the prime.
Finally got here then.
Well, this was in
Not
Texas,
even here.
and Kansas. It wasn't even here that
Yes.
this happened. So
I guess I've not heard of it, so
Yeah.
not on TikTok. So,
You're not on the.
Rachel says, "Why can't high school kids just play Uno or Monopoly tag?"
What's Monopoly tag?
Rachel just, if it's not positive, and why shoot somebody? Is what Rachel's thinking.
She also is calling you dad
I
of the
do.
golf league, taking care of everyone's bug repellent needs.
I took care of one guy, so I'm not trying to take care of it. I don't want to take too much credit,
There's
but
not
you
the-
could hear it rounding everywhere. Everybody was looking for bug soother.
Sure.
Somebody's always got some.
Someone. Mm-hmm.
So that's that.
I think that would have been fun. And you hear about 2 bad stories, and there's millions that did it, and it's fine.
It's
but-
fine. Yeah.
So this app, this app, you must kind of sign up for it, and
I-
you either a hunter
how that
or
works.
the huntee.
Yeah,
Is that
Probably one person goes after another, and it's kind of a big circle.
Right.
of
So
people.
once you're it, you're not really it anymore. You get to hunt again, or if you get shot, you're done. Or
Well, I just think it's like one person goes after this person, who goes after this person, who goes after this person, and it's like a big circle.
okay,
And comes back to someone else. So you're being
And-
hunted, and you're the hunter.
and you may or may not know who that person is.
Correct.
I see. And would they be in the same town or something? Would it work that way?
I was assuming they
So?
sign up on an app. They have a bunch of names, and the names
They-
are randomly assigned.
But they sign up. They probably sign up together as a group.
Yeah, like a
right?
group
All the
or
names in one
something.
pool
Right.
and just randomly generate.
Maybe we
Just-
need to sign up.
Yeah, there
Morning
you go.
breath.
Morning,
Morning- the
morning
morning
breath. Senior assassin.
Assassins. Well, John and Rachel.
We'll just wait till Thursday and stand around and shoot each other. It's like I don't have to track anybody down. They're gonna come to me next Thursday.
I think there was one video I saw where somebody was working at a Chipotle and his target was in a booth with like 5 other people. So he couldn't like leave because he's in the middle of this like booth
Right.
with 5 or 10 people. So he just got a water cup and threw it at him and said, "Gotcha."
Oh no!
Does the hunter
I'd be
know he's being
pissed.
hunted? He or she?
Yeah, I would assume.
You're always hunting and you're always being hunted.
Oh,
Interesting.
So
I'm kind of getting. I think I'd like to do this now. I'd like to get.
It actually sounds fun.
It
Like
does
to
sound
get
kinda
all
fun.
camouflaged up.
my college
put
did
on
something
some-
like that, but they called it like zombie or something.
Yeah.
It was you always went after someone, but always someone's after you as well.
Put on fatigues. I would stalk you in the middle of the night.
Yikes!
I know where you
I would
live.
learn your patterns. I would get to know you really well. You least expect I'd jump out of a ninja-like tree.
Yeah. And now you can buy these squirt guns like these that shoot like 100 feet.
There you
so
go. See, that's the one I
hot.
want.
You don't even have to get
I
close.
don't even know where you came from.
Yeah, you can just wait till they drive by with their window down and shoot them from
Like
the
a
side of the road.
sniper.
Yeah, exactly.
Sniper
a
squirt
sniper.
gun.
Like it.
So yeah, I'd totally be in on that.
Greta, I think I noticed that you are celebrating National No Socks Day today.
I am. That took me a minute to register what you were saying. What?
What?
I do not
Well,
have socks on.
as
No,
we know-
no.
We know more about Matt than we need to. Now we know you knew that it was No Socks Day.
I did. I don't know how, but it happened.
Yeah.
As soon as it's like 70s hits, socks gotta go.
Forget the socks.
Socks are
We're
out.
done with socks.
Yeah.
That's what I say about my jacket.
Yeah.
More jacket from
Same.
now on, I think.
Same.
Yeah. Cindy says we should make up our own type of game with locals. A morning breath assassin. With everybody, not just us four.
Well, we should think about that.
Yeah.
I don't know that we'll think about it on the show. We'll have to do this on our own time.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of the show, SPP, the Southeast Iowa Video Network is sponsored by KCTC.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Casey.
Casey.
Thanks, Casey, and all the gang over at KCTC. And the Morning Breath crew this morning, the 4 of us are sponsored by Hy-Vee and Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh.
Thank
Thank you, Willie.
Willie.
Thanks, Willie, and all the Hy-Vee Fast and Fresh. Zzz.
Zzz.
Guys, I got soccer tomorrow?
Tonight and tomorrow.
Two.
Two in a row. And actually next week, Monday, Thursday, Friday also.
That's how I feel about my golf. I golfed last night. Now I get to golf today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not the same.
But it is every day.
Just saying.
Well, it is a different sport.
The ball's bigger.
It'd be much easier to hit.
Course is smaller. So
Way bigger spot to get the ball.
You got
Yes.
someone playing defense at the hole.
yes,
It's a little difficult.
That would make golf
That would
way
be.
hard.
I'm like picturing that.
Get out of
Huh.
here. It's already hard enough. We don't need a defensive
tackle
player.
golf. Actually, they do have that. They have. I don't know if it's soccer ball golf, but they have golf that's like that. They,
Oh, they do.
use
I think the Riverside does it sometimes.
do they use a soccer ball and the hole is.
I can't think of what
I thought
that's
you meant,
called.
Football.
No,
golf.
no, but that would be fun too.
That's something on the Ocho.
tackle golf, but they have soccer where it's this shorter
Foot
quarters.
golf, I think, is
maybe
what it's
that's
called.
it. Yeah, actually, it was on ESPN. I think I saw it once that they were doing this foot golf thing.
I'll be damned. I don't think I've missed that.
Yeah, and it's like a soccer ball and whatever. So.
I'll make a game out of it. You give somebody a ball and a net and a hole or whatever.
Yeah.
They'll make a game of it.
Make a
Well,
game.
I think I'd have a better shot
Sport
at soccer
gun.
golf than real golf. So I think I could do that one. Jimmy brings up rugby, and rugby is aggressive. Speaking of tackle golf,
But it's respectful,
well, there's rules around it, but
and they're very strict about it.
Yeah.
And these guys are beasts.
Well, so when I was a little kid, my dad played rugby in this little town that we lived in, Corden, Iowa, and he played rugby. And I distinctly remember, as a very small child, this guy walking off the field, and his whole entire face was covered with blood. Now, it could have just been a small cut that bled a lot, but as a small kid, I'm like, yeah, no, not doing
My
that.
dad played rugby too, and he has maybe it was my dad. He has a huge scar on his eye
Yeah.
from rugby.
Yeah, but that image is in my head of this grown man just bleeding like crazy.
Maybe he just washed his hair a little aggressive.
If he would have conditioned his scalp better, he would have been okay.
Think about that. There was one time I was an adult, but a young adult, and I had some young friends over in Winfield, and they got together and started their own little rugby thing, and they asked me, and I was all excited about it for 4 minutes, and I thought, that's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt today and tomorrow.
I've got a kid now. I said, I don't think this is for me. So I use I'm a dad now.
Yeah.
I've got to
a good excuse.
provide for them.
Yeah.
Can't go out and get maimed in the sport.
So Ray says his brother took part in a car-to-car bottle rocket war. One of the bottle rockets flew into their truck, lit their bucket of bottle rockets on fire, and burned the truck down to the rims on the north side of the high school. So there you go.
Yikes.
But imagine that, but water.
Exactly.
That's what we got here.
Exactly.
It all starts with something. We used to have bottle rocket wars.
Yeah.
We just held them.
Right.
Ran after
Yeah.
you.
I got
All fun and games till somebody loses an eye.
I got be in a BB gun fight once and got shot in the face. Yeah.
You have both eyes.
Yeah, well, it hit me right above the lip. And so then I couldn't go tell, and I mean, it's an obvious thing. It hit me right here. And so I go home and I tell my mom, well, we went fishing and I got caught with a fish hook because I didn't want to tell her we were shooting BB guns at each other. And then guess what happened? Well, you need to get tetanus shots. You need to do this and this because it was a fish hook, or supposedly.
Oh.
And I'm like, all right, that's not really what happened. I don't need a whole round of shots for this.
You're getting a tetanus shot now anyway.
Punishment.
Yeah,
I
but
remember I did something like that. I was playing, not the smartest idea, but I was playing tackle football during like the high school football game on the Friday night. So I was going to tackle this kid, but I didn't go low enough, so his shoulder went right into my eye. And it wasn't a black eye, but it was very swollen and very close.
sure.
But my parents are like, everything okay? I'm like, I'm great.
All good.
I'm just stretching, you know.
Nothing to see here, Ma.
Just here.
Nothing to see. 7:32 SPP. We better take a break.
Yes.
Yes.
Introducing Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every meal is a delight. Start your day with our mouthwatering breakfast options and savor flavorful lunches with friends and family. Cap off your day with our delectable dinners. Hy-Vee Market Grill, where every moment is delicious.
Washington County Hospital and Clinics, providing quality health care that puts you first. Whether during a hospital stay, seeing a primary care provider for wellness exams or sick visits, minor surgery to a total joint replacement, or recovering from an injury, we're here when you need us.
More than you expect for your health care. Washington County Hospital and Clinics.
At Seafirst Credit Union, we're all about making connections. Like how we connect you to that dream vacation with a savings account designed to help get you on the flight there. Connect with Seafirst today and see why together is better.
Well, ahoy! Welcome back. Ahoy there, Martha.
Ahoy there.
Your mom changed it up a little bit.
She did. Ahoy there.
She's always just ahoy,
Yeah.
but now it's ahoy there. Ahoy there to you.
There you
That's
go.
Mom.
There you go.
I was eating your salsa last night.
I
and it
was. I forgot to. do the
Delish.
Say,
I was
the
eating her salsa last night.
You got salsa, didn't you?
It's very good.
Have you polished off your salsa?
I'm almost done with it.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've talked about salsa.
I didn't get any. I got Cindy's salsa, and it was very good. But I haven't got any.
The
of my
first
mom's
thing out
salsa.
of his mouth is I never got it.
I don't know. Cindy's salsa was awesome, and the pickles were.
I say,
awesome.
I want some pickles.
Yeah, I was going to share those, and they're pretty
He's
good.
not.
They're pretty good. The bread and butter
Fair
one,
enough.
the bread and butter ones are gone. So
Those are my favorite.
Damn, those are the ones we wanted.
yeah, sorry,
Jeez.
All right.
sorry, not sorry.
Well, Martha, your mason jars are on my counter, ready to come home.
Jimmy says that too. He says, "I'm almost done. Need to get the jar back to Martha."
So, I don't know. Do we have any
So
stories?
yeah, well, yeah, I
What
got.
do we need to say? And you think we've said everybody.
No, well, mostly, but Cindy says, I was in junior high and the four of us were shooting rubber bands on the bus when I caught one in the eye and we all got caught and ended up in the front seat of the
Ooh,
bus
the
for a
worst.
month. That's the worst.
Front of the bus. Boo.
You can't ride there.
No.
You can't do anything.
Can't have any fun in the front of the
You just have
bus.
to
Front.
sit there.
Yes. But
Too close to the driver.
we've mentioned most. Mom, Rachel, Jeff, Cindy, Jimmy, Denise, Ray, all here. Ahoy to everybody.
Shooting squirt guns and rubber bands and stuff. I threw one measly firecracker in somebody's locker in junior high, and they suspended me.
Wow.
I think that's frowned upon.
It's funnier than hell. The teacher even laughed. That turned me in.
That even laughed. There was a big fight. Two girls got in a huge fist fight in the hallway of school before school one morning. And it was in front of this one teacher's classroom, and he was a football coach. And he stood in his door and watched them fight for a long time until other teachers started running down the hall, and then he jumped in. It was like, he was just
Let him
watching
have
them.
at it.
He was watching them for a long time.
Sometimes you got to let this play
let
out.
it play out.
There has to be a winner.
But as soon as some other teachers came around, he's like, all right, I suppose I got to do
Fine.
something now. So,
I always felt bad for one teacher at our school because she was always like there when a fight was happening, and she's like the smallest person ever, and she's
Right.
trying to break up these two big high schoolers. And
right.
she was just always there at the time it was happening, so she had to do something.
Well, they apparently didn't feel like she was a threat to
Yeah,
stop
they're
them.
like, yeah, that's
so
just
they're
her.
like, all right, if we're gonna
Guess
fight,
so.
let's do it right here. So
Kind of like
Cin-
two silverbacks going at it. I don't care what's going on.
exactly. So that was funny. Greta, Cindy says
I'm gonna get some pickles.
She's gonna drop some pickles. off.
Woohoo.
So
I'll be excited.
I was out doing my regular job yesterday and ran into somebody else who says, I listen to you every morning.
there you go. There's a lot. I
There's
know.
a lot.
I see them.
So that's nice.
Yeah.
That's always, that just puts a smile on my face. And it's okay. She says, I just never comment. And I said, it's okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
But I said, it's just nice to hear that there's people out there that are enjoying it. So
Yes.
thank you all for even the people that don't comment. You just listening. Love it.
Love it.
Yes.
Subscribe
Love it. Love it.
and share
Like,
and
share,
like.
follow, comment.
Those-
Spread the word.
Those kinds of things.
Those kind of things. So I think a while back you were asking, we said we hadn't done Florida man stories in a while, and we're still not going to today, but I'm going to get around to that, find some more Florida man stories. But I did find an Iowa man story.
They're not hard, are they?
Huh?
The Florida ones are not hard.
No, there's whole websites dedicated to Florida man stories. But so Knoxville, just down the road in Knoxville.
Where they have the sprint car national.
Yes, they do.
racing.
Have you ever been to those?
I have not.
I haven't either. They look like they'd be fun, but I've never done it.
Like Tony Stewart used to come to
I
that.
know. Huh. So the Knoxville Police Department received a report of a person shooting a gun from a car at around 1:50 a.m. on May 6th.
Was this some kind of TikTok thing?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. This I'm going to give away the ending a little bit. This was a very drunk man thing.
Ooh, well,
So
dag nabbit.
a witness gave police footage that captured the incident from their Ring doorbell. So they had the guy on camera, right? So a person in the front passenger seat had shot their gun multiple times down the street, which shattered a window on a house. The court document said he didn't hurt anybody, just randomly shooting his gun in
Yikes.
town, apparently. So that was at 1:50 a.m. At around 2:15 a.m., so 25 minutes later, a man entered the local hospital with a gunshot wound. Yeah.
This sounds a bit suspicious.
Police spoke to a witness and confirmed the injured man was the suspect of the drive-by shooting. The driver of the vehicle told police that the injured man was shooting a gun outside the window in a random act of violence. And the driver said after 4 or 5 shots, the gun negligently discharged, causing the suspect to shoot himself in the leg.
Yikes.
Yeah. So officers reported that the suspect had a strong odor of alcohol, bloodshot eyes, and thick and slurred speech, as I can't get
I can't get it out.
It's just coffee. And admitted to being under the influence of alcohol, which would look pretty obvious. So the man was charged with intimidation with a dangerous weapon, reckless use of a firearm, possession or carrying of a dangerous weapon while under the influence, and a person ineligible to carry a weapon.
How is that? How do you get to be that?
How do
Maybe
you?
you're a felon? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't know. He probably didn't have a permit. I guess
If you shoot yourself in the leg, you're probably ineligible to be.
Yeah, exactly. Or at least it's a good idea
Yeah,
not
probably.
to carry a
Frowned
weapon.
upon.
It's frowned upon.
I kind of wonder about the driver. If I'm driving somebody around and he pulls out his 38 and starts shooting,
Right.
I'm hitting the binders and going, "What the heck are you doing?"
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Because nothing like drawing a little attention to us.
So,
Put that away.
and I mean, clearly he shot himself, so he had to go to the hospital, right? He wanted to go to the hospital. But what do you walk in saying there? Yeah, it's a gunshot wound.
From myself.
From myself. I was cleaning my gun and it just went off accidentally. I was cleaning my gun while I was very drunk.
This proves again proof that nothing good happens after midnight.
That's right.
Yes, exactly.
Same thing happened to Plaxico Burris back in, I don't know, late 2000s.
Could you say that again, please?
The old Giants football player, Plaxico Burris.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember that.
Jimmy says if you go to the hospital for a self-inflicted gunshot wound, you get no painkiller. You're just a dummy, so you have to deal with it.
Just
Are you
dummy in the
kidding?
No. That's what I think he's suggesting that.
Okay.
No, I, don't,
Phew.
no, I think he's just suggesting that.
That makes sure I wouldn't miss that.
Well, that's how I interpret what he's saying.
Wow.
Anyway.
All right. You had me worried there for a minute.
Well,
Gonna have to check with Todd on that.
Yeah. Don't come to WCHE.
No painkiller.
Jimmy says just a thought. Just
Here,
an idea.
bite down on this rag. Hold him down.
Hold him down. Pin him down.
A rag. You don't get a rag. You just get a stick. You got to bring your own stick to bite down on.
Doc pours a little booze on it.
Yeah.
Gets his needle nose out and pulls that slug out of there. 742 SPP. Should we get set for the day?
Indeed.
Indeed.
Do we need to take a break? Did we take a break?
No.
Sure didn't.
I was like, wait, we're missing something.
We haven't taken a break?
We haven't taken
Second
a second
one.
break.
Second break.
Oh, well, let's take the second one. I don't know where I'm at.
That's all good.
Phone's going off. Do your thing.
In the heart of rural Iowa, where community matters most, the connections we make are made to last. Meet KCTC, your hometown internet, phone, and TV provider. At KCTC, we're not just about technology, we're about people. Our dedicated team are your neighbors, committed to bringing you top-tier services right where you live. We believe in giving back to the community that raised us. Experience the power of a real connection with KCTC. Join us in building a stronger, more connected Southeast Iowa.
Attention Hy-Vee shoppers, introducing Hy-Vee Perks, your ticket to exclusive savings and rewards. Access exclusive perks, prices, earn gas discounts, and unlock special deals. All this for free. Join Hy-Vee Perks today and start saving.
Bring the kids, share the memories, celebrate 75 years of traditions at the Midwest Old Threshers Reunion. Relive the magic of steam engines, antique cars, and trucks, tractors, gas engines, and horses. Whether it's your first visit or a cherished tradition, you'll enjoy the delicious foods, the thrill of an Old West shootout, and the excitement of nightly grandstand entertainment. For 75 years, this has been the place where memories are made at the 2025 Midwest Old Threshers Reunion, August 28th through September 1st in Mount Pleasant, Iowa. Visit oldthreshers.com for more details.
The Connie and Amanda team is dedicated to giving back to our community by actively engaging with our clients, businesses, and the public. When it comes to helping you find your next home, investment, or commercial space, the Connie and Amanda team is here for you.
Welcome back, ahoy, everybody. Am I on schedule now? What are we? What are we to do?
We're good.
What are we on?
We're all good.
Where's my notes? Do we get set for the day now?
We can. We can do that.
SPP?
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's get set for the day. It is the 8th day of May. It is Thursday, Friday eve morn something. It is 7:46 a.m. and this is episode 307. Temperature right now in Fairfield, Mount Pleasant, Washington is 52 degrees across the board. Sunny today with maybe a few clouds, but not a big deal.
Do you remember when we were episode 222? And it reminded me of that show, that Room 222. Talked about that.
I don't. That was 100 episodes ago.
I know. I can't hardly remember it either, but I'm sure I did.
I'm sure I did. We're not going to go back and check the
If I
tape.
didn't, I should have.
So it's all right.
There was a show called Room 222.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that. Where was I?
Jimmy, help me
High
out.
of 72, a low of 40. Today's headlines from SoutheastIowaUnion.com. Fairfield Youth Performing Arts to hold auditions for Mary Poppins Jr.
Huh.
Haven't heard of that one.
Me either.
Aiden Krell, artwork featured in Arts Impact Gallery through June. And archivist works to digitize decades of journal photos.
Oof.
Yeah, it was a process.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You
Not
had
that
them
I
all
had-
here somewhere?
Huh?
You have them all here?
They're at the University of Iowa in the archives.
Oh.
Yeah, and there's public access to them. You can't resell them or whatever, but there's public access to all these photos. Anyway, there's a story to that. Basically, when we remodeled, we had all these negatives from decades, of negatives, and we had no place to put them. We were going to have less space when we remodeled this, and so we didn't want to throw them away. So we got a hold of some people, and
they said, yeah, we want them.
Yeah, and now they're digitized and
That's cool.
properly accounted for, and yes,
Cataloged.
And so when I say it was a process, I do have to say I was like no part of the process.
You took them up there.
No.
Somebody didn't even do that.
Didn't
We
even
just
do
called
that.
somebody and said, "Do you want these?" And they said, "Yep," and it was done. So
That's how you take care of
yeah,
business.
and that was the end of my process. Except for at the end, we had to sign a thing that says it's okay for you to use these, and that was really my part of the process. So I can't take a lot of credit
Well,
for that.
way to delegate.
Yeah,
That's what I
well,
can say, Matt.
I just didn't want to throw them away. Sports, SEC conference track
That's
meets
what I
tonight.
say about some of my socks.
What's
Just
up?
can't throw them away.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you have to. It's no sock day.
Well,
Yeah, no,
today,
you can't wear
I
'em
threw away
today.
You just can't wear them. You don't have to throw them away. So
They're still good.
SEC conference track today in Fairfield for both boys and girls. Also, lots of tennis, golf, and boys and girls soccer.
Just so you know, my full intent was to go through this whole segment and not interrupt you. And now all I've
been
done
like
is
three or
just
four
keep
times.
talking.
including a boys soccer match tonight between Fort Madison and Washington that you can watch right here on the Southeast Iowa Video Network starting at 4:57 or something to that effect.
Very
What's
close
that
to
remote
5.
for? I've been looking at it this whole time.
Oh, we didn't have them on.
We didn't have them on.
Oh, those are cool.
Yeah, nobody can see
Nobody
them.
can see them but us.
Yeah, and
You
they're
see
not.
it right above Matt's head.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, there you go.
The
There's
LED
a strip
lights.
going up the side of the wall. Yeah,
Those are fun.
They're not bright enough to like light it up. We can't like turn the lights off and see anything. But
I like them.
yeah. So anyway, it was quite a bit of work for really no
nothing.
purpose. But they're there.
There they are.
So on this day in history, on this day in 1976, Tim, you'll appreciate this one.
Okay.
John Sebastian's playfully nostalgic theme song for the TV show Welcome Back, Kotter becomes the #1 pop single in the U.S.
That was a great. That was a great show.
Welcome back.
Sing it for us.
That's it. That's all you're getting. Welcome back.
That was pretty good, really.
There you go.
I can't remember the names.
Horseshack. And,
Horseshack.
And John Travolta, that's where he got his
He
start.
got it started.
Yeah, he was on that show.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah.
I don't see reruns of that, and I wish I could.
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
Well, it was the #1 song in 1976.
Is that right?
Well, maybe not for the whole year, but at one point in time. On this day. Greta, random joke, random quote, or random fact?
Random quote.
Random quote. I'm sick of following my dreams, man. I'm just going to ask where they're going and hook up with them later. It's Max Hedberg. I had to do it like Max Hedberg. I had to throw the man in there.
Quite the switch up.
Yeah, that was.
She's some kind of badass over there.
I'm just reading. I just tried to get in character. I
I
guess.
love it.
Sick of following my dreams. I'm just going to catch up and hook up with them later.
I like it.
Find out where they're going.
God, that was the best.
Yeah, there you go.
Today's takeaway. There's so many, but we'll start with you, Greta. Do you have a I'll come back to you.
Don't put a firecracker in somebody's locker. You will be suspended.
Unless they've changed the rules. 'Cause back when I did it, it was a suspension.
Yes.
Boss man?
Even though we don't know exactly what it is, I'm guessing you can't get hurt, injured, killed, or suspended for playing Monopoly Tag.
It sounds like a very safe game.
It does sound like a
And
safe
positive
game.
and fun.
And very positive.
Yeah.
That's a good one. SPP?
Next time I take a shower, I have to wash my hair until I
Completely different.
Bleed.
We're all going to be washing our hair a little
Until
differently.
you bleed.
My takeaway is guns and alcohol just don't mix, and
Ever.
And therefore I will take a lot of target practice so I don't shoot myself in the leg while being sober driving around.
Right.
So there's my takeaway. Okay, 7:51. I think that's going to do it for us today. We hope you enjoyed the show. We thank you all for commenting and listening, and we hope you have a great Thursday. It's going to be a great day. A little cooler today, so that's nice.
Yep.
To catch the soccer game on the Southeast on this very network, or go out and watch it.
Yeah.
Probably, some things are better in person, right? Like hockey, soccer, baseball.
Yep.
Go out and enjoy the weather. We shall return tomorrow, God willing, and until then, ahoy.